Jamie McMurray back in the race. Danica Patrick in her first Daytona 500. 38th. Laps down, but determined to finish.
Michael, you've been in the race car earlier in the week. You know there's 2 to go. Is this where you just kind of block out those gauges as far as how hot you might be running if you start pushing another driver?
Finally, Larry, we're there. We know we can make it 2 laps, but here's what I bet. They're going to get so aggressive with their pushing, we're going to have to do another green-white checkered, but we're going to do them 2 laps at a time, so it's time to forget about the gauges and put the pedal to the metal and hang on.
So let's review the rules as we come to lap 200. That is the scheduled distance. NASCAR goes into their green-white checkered mode. They'll wave the green flag when the field comes around. Should they complete that next lap under green and the leader take the white flag under the green flag, next flag ends the race. If they don't make it back around to the white flag, we'll try another green-white checker up to a maximum of 3 attempts. This is the 6th time we've had green-white checker in the last 7 Daytona 500s that have run the full distance.
We talked about it earlier in the show. Last 10 500s, 10 different winners. A couple of those winners are there, Matt Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
But I do think it's only appropriate, based on everything that's happened to us this weekend, that we would go into overtime.
Still 22 cars on the lead lap as we get set to settle it in the 37 hours of the Daytona 500 since we first got ready to race yesterday.
I think Kenseth is in the catbird seat. It just depends on the pushers. Depends on whether Dale Earnhardt can push Greg Biffle or not.
Ford's at the front of Toyota and Chevy in row 2. Green flag, and Biffle gets about a half a car length away from Denny Hamlin here and moves up to pick up his Ford teammate Greg Biffle.
Boy, that is a teammate right there, buddy. I mean, he jumped out there, got him.
Dale Jr. had no help, but he locks on the back of Biffle, 2nd and 3rd.
I don't think it'll do Dale Jr. any good because I don't think Biffle's going to go anywhere. If he's a team player like Kenseth has been, he'll sit right there.
They've got a lap and a half to find out.
Now, when they come off of turn 4 and Dale Jr. is still pushing him,
could be a whole different story.
I'd say things might pick up.
They're looking for the white flag this time.
Once we get into this lap, if anything should happen down in turn 1 or 2 or 3 and 4, it's over.
3-car breakaway. Junior tucked up tight under the bumper of Biffle. Kenseth leads to turn 1. Final lap.
Denny Hamlin in the 11s there with no one to push him.
Actually, he might actually be hurting those 2 cars in front of him if he gets back too far. But here we go. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen pretty quick.
We've seen where the timing of where you do it is so critical.
Those 2 cars, the 16 and the 88, should be able to get by Kenseth if Biffle elects to take the chance.
Ford Chevrolet off the final corner. Matt Kenseth trying to win it for the 2nd time. Here comes Junior to the outside. Side by side with Kenseth. He runs out of time. Matt Kenseth wins the Daytona 500.
I tip my hat.
I know Matt can't talk to you, but thanks to Jimmy.
2009
Awesome, man. Awesome.
2012.
I tip my hat to Greg Biffle, though. He could have jumped out of line, but he honored his teammate.
Matt Kenseth's the first driver to repeat as a Daytona 500 champion since Jeff Gordon in 2005. He gets his 22nd career win.
Remember how he won the race? Elliott Sadler was leading the race. They go down the back straightaway, and Kenseth just gets the lead, and it starts raining, and the race ends short.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. did beat Greg Biffle back to the line to finish 2nd in that 88 car. There's Biffle, who ended up finishing 3rd.
Denny Hamlin is 4th. Jeff Burton is 5th. Paul Menard, Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards up for 8th with a damaged car. Joey Logano and Mark Martin are the top 10.
Great job by Mark Martin to get a top 10 finish. Driving for Michael. Good job, buddy.
And Dave Blaney, who led during that long red flag period, winds up in the top 15 for Tommy Bolton.
Pretty good day for that team.
Last time we were here in July, Matt Kenseth pushed his teammate David Reagan to the checkered flag.
And Matt Kenseth gets to play capture the flag here in Daytona.
These guys, third, fourth, and fifth, all have new. Well, Biffle doesn't have a new crew chief, but Hamlin and Burton do.
And there's Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has finished second 6 times since he last went to victory lane in the Sprint Cup Series. He and Greg Biffle share a word after this wild final lap.
Right there was when Biffle started to go with Dale Jr. and he thought better of it.
It's a pretty great way for Jack Roush to start off his 25th year in Sprint Cup.
Good sign, good thing for Dale Jr. Good sign for Dale Jr. too. Gets a nice second place finish in the old Diet Dew car.
Let's see Carl Edwards coming across the line, even with Joey Logano, and just pipping him by about 6 inches. Nice move by Carl.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now NASCAR has reviewed that and ruled that Edwards 99 was forced below the yellow line, so no penalty on Edwards.
There's Old Faithful. She came through.
It's okay now.
Seeing the way Matt Kenseth won on Thursday, boy, that made him my pick for a last lap dash tonight. And he didn't disappoint any of his fans this evening.
Well, I think the other thing that happened on Thursday was when Greg Biffle bailed on him and tried to block him. And I think they probably had a heart-to-heart after that qualifying race. And I think that's one reason why Biffle hung with him the way he did.
You know, before Matt Kenseth turned 16 years old, he told his dad, Roy, he said, let's buy a race car. You drive it, I'll work on it. When I turn 16, I want to drive it. He won his 3rd time.
Jimmy Fennick and the Nashville crew have plenty to celebrate.
That's not Jimmy Fenning's first Daytona 500 win. He won it in 1988 with Bobby Allison.
Steve Burns.
And Mike, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just out of the car, and a great way to start this 2012 season. Dale, tell us about the end of the race.
Yeah, I'd have liked to have won, but I told Greg that I was going to push him on that last restart, and I pushed him, and I thought he was waiting and waiting and waiting. It looked like he might have been trying to make a move on the back straightaway, but nothing materialized there. And then we come off 4, and I kind of waited till the last minute for him to have his opportunity to try to pass Matt, and nothing was happening. So I just pulled out and went around him. Matt had a strong car. The Roush guys were really quick all week. I was proud of the horsepower we had in our Hendrick car. It was great. We had great speed all week down here. Our car is performed well all week. The guys did a great job on the body. I want to thank everybody at the shop and all the guys that painted this car. This car looks so good every time it comes down here. The craftsmanship inside and out is amazing. It performed well. The team did a great job. Steve did a good job calling a good race. It was unfortunate what happened over in turn 3 tonight, and I'm glad everybody's okay. And I hate it for the fans to have to wait around to see a finish so late, but they stuck around. That's why NASCAR fans are the best, and hopefully they enjoyed it.
We'll see you at Phoenix. Good job.
Yes, sir.
Mike Joy.
Thank you, Steve. Great run for Dale Jr. Let's go down to the Dean of NASCAR's Pit Road Reporters, Dick Berggren in Victory Lane.
Well, Matt Kenseth, earlier in this race, when that engine was spewing water, did you think you had any chance to win the Daytona 500?
Not really. We had a lot of problems today. We had the engine spew out water, and we had a little bit of fuel problem. We lost a tachometer, lost our radios, and I couldn't talk. I could hear them, so that was good for them guys. But What a great race. I really need to thank Greg Biffle. Did a great job working with me today. We both had really fast rockets. I think it's just ended up who was in front at the end. And I also thank Sprint, Best Buy, Zest, Ford Motor Company, Valvoline, Gatorade, and Citizen Watches. I appreciate all their support, and I can't believe we're standing here twice in 1 week.
Tell us about Greg Biffle sticking behind you. Is that a matter of friendship? Is it a matter of teammate, or two guys driving Fords?
I think it's a combination of everything, but really it's a combination of what was going to give us both the best finish, you know. And I think when I'd pull up in front of him and he'd push me and we could get clear of the car behind me, that was a big key. We could just be going so fast by the time we got to the other end, and a lot of that is because of Doug Yates and the engine room. This stuff was awesome all weekend.
Is there a happier man in America right now than you?
There might be, but I don't know where he is.
Congratulations to you. Second Daytona 500 for Matt Kenseth. Matt.
Even his Roush teammates said the 16 was the car to beat. You look to be in position. You got out of the car shocked. What happened? You had Junior pushing, and what happened?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I don't know what happened there. I mean, he was against me for 2 full laps, and I couldn't pull up on the 17. It's like the 17 had more motor or something at the end. It's like he floored it, and we couldn't catch him. But, you know, I think I was shoving him out, and I tried to make a move maybe on the back to kind of move up, but we didn't have a run. We needed a run. I needed a gap between us and the 17, and we just didn't have that gap. I maybe needed to drag the brake and try and push the 88 back and slow him down so we could get a run at it. But, you know, I thought Junior would push me up to the back bumper of him and I'd side draft him and go by him. But and then it would be me and Junior over here at the line. But it wasn't meant to be. I learned a little bit there, and I think Junior's shocked too that the car didn't push up. But, you know, 3M Ford Fusion, these guys, and Doug Yates, everybody, I'm so happy for starting the season out like this.
Great way to set a tone to start out the 2012 season. Mike?
Ford has now won 3 of the last 4 Daytona 500s. It's the 13th win for Ford in the Great American Race as Matt Kenseth and his team celebrate.